All right, week whatever.
Still week 20.
Week 20B.
Yeah, 20 plus.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a podcast yesterday, so because Mark was in town, and
Yeah, Mark Yaffe.
Mark Yaffe, what a hoot! And that was a lot of fun. I figured this would be our MLK celebration.
Oh, yeah.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Two black guys today.
Yeah, very important. Very important.
They almost make them at least an equal representation of the group. I couldn't believe it. Petra was sitting here yesterday talking with Mark about the problem with the world is these old white guys. They just kept going on about how bad white people
I said,
old white men.
I'm really afraid of old white men.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, Mitch McConnell, who I think is seriously evil.
And I'm sitting right
And
here.
Lindsey Graham.
I'm
And
thinking-
so he says, give me my coffee back.
Like old, powerful white men. The running.
There you go.
Okay, wait a
Thank
minute.
you.
Now,
Thank you.
my father is still alive too. And he's a nice guy. I mean, what the hell? My grandfather was a nice old white guy.
My dad was a nice old white guy.
Yesterday, I think I got
My head
profiled.
was in the Congress. What?
I got a profile about an old white woman yesterday.
Oh yeah, let's go on let's do racial stories.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
And I will tell you, I am so embarrassed when I see women my age and they're walking along and they'll see an unwhite person somewhere and they'll take their purse and go,
Time out.
I swear, it's just
That doesn't
creepy.
happen.
Unwhite.
Unwhite.
Yeah. At one point in time.
Anything. Not even people of color is unwhite. You can be transparent. You're just unwhite.
That's like saying not
that
white or less than white.
happened.
Isn't door
How
to
did
the
that pop
stairwell
into my
closed?
head?
You
Yeah.
go to the steering wheel?
It's closed, yeah.
It is okay.
Yeah.
Unwhite. Unwhite sounds like you were
Why
white
don't you
and now
bring
you're
her
not.
in? Then we got a
Come here.
50-50 mix. Come here, girl.
Oh yeah, we got
Like, no,
full,
she
half,
got-
and quarter. Let's do it.
Oh goodness. All right, Randall, let's hear it.
Yeah, freaking total line.
Well, let me set it up.
Go for it.
Randall and I went white person shopping yesterday.
Yeah.
So I took a
Fucking Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's, Bed Bath and Beyond.
Did you get the mangoes?
I was looking for a gluten-free 40.
I like it. I like it.
Oh man, it was hilarious.
We need to put a counter of stuff I like. That would be one right there.
Gluten-free old 80.
Gluten-free old English.
Old English, that's what it was. Yeah, old English.
Yeah.
And then we went to the what is that called? The hills or
The trails.
the trails.
The trail.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's
Oh,
where-
and so
Millennial shopping.
When Trader Joe's isn't wide enough, you got to go to the trails.
So John was picking up some, little whiskey bottles for the whiskey challenge today. I didn't buy shit, and like I'm standing in the line behind him, and I'm just bobbing along, and he's going to pay for his stuff, and he looks at me. This is how she framed it, right, to like gauge whether or not why I was there. She was like, "You in the military?" Like you color folk don't come around here. Like
No, she didn't say that. But
She didn't say that. That's what she wanted her
Oh,
gauge
no.
was, you know.
I heard it too. I was like,
And
well.
I was like, I used to be. She goes, I've only seen you in here a couple times. Can I see your ID? And I was like, whatever.
Whoa. She wants to see your ID because
Yeah. No.
No, that's because he looks young.
No.
No, hear it
Bro,
out.
I
Hear
got
it
a fucking
out.
salt and pepper ass beard and fucking salt and pepper hair. I don't look fucking a day fucking younger than 30.
Or you could be like a 20-year-old hipster.
No, you could
Nah, fail.
go.
So
for
I'm
your
buying
20s.
booze
Yeah,
anyways.
he's buying the booze.
Yeah.
And, checks my ID and I fucking go to hand it to him. He's like, why do you need to see his ID? And she's like, oh, we always ask everybody in the group. And he was like,
I said, I don't know this guy.
yeah.
She looks over. She looks at me. She's like, "You're kidding," and I was like, "I'm absolutely kidding."
I was somewhere though where I couldn't buy booze because I was with someone under 21.
But she said,
Even though I was the
she,
one
and she
buying
was
it.
trying to explain that, and then she said, "Well, I haven't seen him in here for a while. I've only seen you in here a couple times." And I looked at her. I was like, "I've never been in here." It's like, I didn't get carded, and I'm responsible for you somehow.
Wow.
I mean, I could easily say, "No, fuck you. I don't know you." And if I do know you, fuck you.
Yeah. Driving
We're not friends anymore. You're walking home.
And even on a different
Give me my
freaking-
booze.
I could have been back there at the freaking whiskey sipping counter, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
getting loaded.
Yeah.
Before
Right.
I walked up to fuck off, lady.
Yeah, I
Did
think we
they
should go
have
back there for
whiskey
the
tasting?
tasting room. Yeah, they
Definitely.
did have a tasting thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna go back.
Oh.
Yeah.
They got wine tastings up there as
I'll
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should buy and see if they card me.
Yeah, there you
It's
go.
not, are you in the military? It's like special ops, man.
Yeah, we went to a restaurant and sitting at the bar and asked
Oh,
for
yeah.
her password, and she gave me that. It wasn't like say to you.
Hey, you gotta show the camera that one.
yeah, for sure.
Wi-Fi password.
What is that? What bar is this?
It was in Blazing Onion. I figured it out, but it looked like it said blacking something. And after typing it in a couple times.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Actually, when she gave it to me, I looked at it and I laughed and I just slid it over to Judd. And then I
It's like, oh god. And I asked her, I was like, did you hear what we were talking about? Are you serious about this? And she's like, oh, it's blazing.
So fuck it.
Oh,
that a Z
that's
or a
a
C?
Z?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a C. I thought it was a C as well.
Yeah.
It look like black exclamation point.
Yeah.
Watch
Oh
out.
yeah, one.
Blacking one.
Blacking one.
Yeah. Can't have more than one in the place.
Oh, God.
Well, there was that time we were at Rite Aid, and I was buying booze, and Randall was with me, just same as that, like waiting in line behind me so he can buy his smokes. And she looks at him, and she looks at me, and she goes, "Can I see your ID?" And Randall's like, "I guess." And I was like, "Why do you need to see his ID?" "Oh, well, he's with you, and you're buying booze." And Randall was like, "Okay," and just handed her the ID, and she checked it, and she's like, "Thank you." So then I buy the booze, and then he comes up and asks for a pack of cigarettes. She cards them. Again. After she just carded them for being with me for buying booze. So you gotta be 21 to buy booze. And he got carded, and then she asked for a fucking card on the smokes.
Well, I was buying cigarettes at a little convenience store in Silverdale, and they asked for my ID. I gave them my ID, and they tried to scan it under the thing. And it's like, oh, it doesn't scan. Sorry, we can't sell you cigarettes. It's like, it's a flippin' ID. Look at my ID. It's my picture. It's got everything. What do you want? And they're like, sorry, we can't do it. I was like, are you flipping kidding me? Do I look like I'm 17, for God's sakes?
Wow.
And they wouldn't sell it to me.
I think
Corporate policy.
Yeah, there was a
It's like,
huge crackdown on the convenience stores because they were seriously selling to underage.
Well, here's what I think.
So they just make it across the board no matter what.
No,
I get ID'd.
I know, but the reason is that they're deputizing these people. So what they're doing is they're making sure that people that are not legal, or that they, or if they have suspended license, that every bartender in town is a deputy because we card everyone, and they do it just so that they can figure out who the riffraff is. And even scanning the IDs is that now you got a record of where you are buying your cigarettes, and if you have a warrant out, they can track you. I mean, I don't know. It's Big Brother shit. That's the way I see
Oh
it.
my
And
gosh.
corporate's working with the government to do it. I mean, there's
That's
got to be
fine
some
with me.
deep. I disagree. I think that
I don't
it's none of the
like that
private
at all.
industry business to deal with government issues. If I owned a business and they were telling me that I had to do shit, fuck you.
Government can't even deal with government issues right now.
Absolutely, yeah. We talked about what's day 30 today.
Yeah, I was thinking about not paying my taxes from here on out.
yeah.
Please, you don't pay taxes, dude. You kidding me? I'm the one that has to pay taxes. I'm like, is it shut down? They're like, nope, we're still taking money. That's automatic. You know,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
an easy thing. They just know how to
Yeah.
run the credit card on that one.
I'm telling you what, if they don't have my tax return ready, as soon as I submit that shit, when I get my W-2 back, I'll tell you what.
No,
man,
there's no way in hell they're going to be able to do that.
They better be, because
They
I
got the
need
new
that
tax
shit.
laws going through, so all the pressure, all the IRS people are focusing on figuring out the new tax law.
I'll fucking sue their asses
Yeah.
for holding on to my money.
You gonna do a class action lawsuit?
Hell yeah.
We can do
I'll
it.
do whatever I need to do.
You know who else we need to sue? Cam girls.
Who?
Cam girls.
They don't pay taxes.
You told me about that.
What are cam
Dude,
girls?
how do you know this?
Research. The internet. Everything.
You just ask them, you're like,
Yeah.
do you pay taxes?
No, I just read all the stories, and it's like,
He tips 20
Yeah.
bucks, and then
You
you're like,
explain-
thanks for the 20 bucks. Like, do you actually get the whole 20 bucks? Yes, I do. That's fucked up.
yeah, hey, I need that whole 20 back, or at least 18.
You go to the chat. You go to those rooms just to chat with the girls. Right?
So
Yeah,
cam girls
yeah.
are women that pretty much have videos of themselves just online, and people purchase the videos. It's like direct-to-consumer
Really?
pornography.
Yeah, we could do it right now.
That's like a special niche market.
Yeah.
How do they feel about 74-year-olds?
Yeah, they're probably
There's somebody will be. That's the beauty of
Oh,
the
dear.
internet.
You can mix and match it, 74-year-olds with midgets, you know,
Yeah.
black midgets.
By the way, have you guys heard the latest where someone attributes it to Betty White, but it's going around, I'm sure you guys have seen it on Facebook, because now it's,
Betty White.
why does
I
everyone
follow her.
say grow some balls? Grow a vagina,
Yeah,
because it takes all that pounding.
Yeah, 'cause
That'd be like an inverse growth, though.
I don't like that idea at all.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Really?
That's
Oh,
ridiculous. That's ridiculous. But yeah, like I said, though,
It just doesn't sound as good as grow some balls. I think that sounds really
Because
good.
balls,
Drop some
Hard.
ovaries.
hard consonant right there with the B.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. That's where
Yeah.
it hinders it.
All right, so what's going on in the news?
Well, I usually Sunday mornings wake up and make my coffee, and I was a little late this morning, but I did see Giuliani was on the news this morning, which
Again.
is always
He's got
exciting.
the strength to look at that man in the morning.
It's exciting.
I
Can you imagine him on
don't
top
have
of
that
you?
kind of strength.
He's one of those dudes, just like, oh my god, this guy's on top of me, sweating.
Yeah, that wouldn't even be a
Poor
pity
lady.
fuck.
No.
No.
That
No,
would
but
be.
it's interesting though because
scary.
the topics are more about well, there's the shutdown, of course, and Pelosi won't.
Why is Giuliani even involved in all this?
Giuliani's Trump's lawyer?
Yeah.
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been
Oh.
for a long
Yeah.
time.
I knew he
Yeah.
was back in the
But
day,
he's-
but I didn't know now.
Because nobody else will represent him. I mean, seriously, he's tried to get all sorts of lawyers, and everybody's turning him down. And Giuliani's the only one, but he's not really his lawyer. He's his lawyer's spokesman. So he's on the news all the time. It's his face for thing. Him and Hannity. But so anything that he's saying on the news, he's representing him as a lawyer. But as long as he's not getting contractual money for it, then he could say, no, I wasn't his lawyer. I was his acting lawyer. I was his publicity lawyer, or something like that. So anything he's saying right now might not be able to be used in court
Yeah.
against him. Because he's saying, I never said there was no collusion, you know. And
Oh my
he
gosh,
said it
that-
like 100 times.
And if there
It's
was collusion,
dizzying what he
Trump
said.
wasn't a part of it. It was
Yeah.
his campaign.
Right,
Yeah.
this is everybody else, not
Yeah.
Trump. How is he supposed to know about everything?
It was the homies. Y'all was colluding. Nobody told me. I didn't know.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to know y'all collude?
Not cool, guys.
Yeah.
You know, Trump's kind of a hands-off leader. He lets other people do things.
There are people who say that Sean Hannity is running the country.
I would, yeah, I see that.
No, definitely McDonald's is running the country.
Yeah. Do you know that Clemson, is that the football team that went there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have a hot dog, or the McDonald's and all, the
Burger.
hamburgers.
Yeah,
Yeah, burgers.
But they're saying the amount of time that the media gave for McDonald's, Burger King, Pizza Hut, I think was another one, what amounted to about $12 million
Worth it.
in we're not in
Advertising.
class. You don't have to raise your hand.
You noticed they didn't have
It's giving me anxiety.
That's right here. I know.
Sunday.
Where's my
Picking on
stick?
you.
I'm gonna get my stick. We're gonna do class. We're gonna do it right.
You notice they didn't have like KFC or Popeyes.
Oh snap!
Well, because
Well,
that would have been.
most of Clemson's white, isn't it?
No. The quarterback's white.
No, the lineman?
man. All
Oh, you're talking about the-
football team is for a football team. They're a white football team.
I didn't say that to bring up any racial tension, but like Popeyes is a better food source
Yeah.
than McDonald's is.
Can you imagine
Like,
the backlash they
What's
would have
it
got if they would have got a bunch of
Popeyes.
fried chicken?
Oh.
They would have got. They would have got tons of.
You never been to
backlash.
Popeyes? Don't get the biscuits, you might die.
Yeah, I have not been.
Well, I was at Trader Joe's and I was looking for their team picture.
There you go. Team photo.
Here, you find it. Yeah, so we're at Trader Joe's, and I overheard the guy talking to the gal about the lettuce, and they have this, and I said, "Oh, is the romaine good now?" He says, "Yeah, they have a stamp that they have to put on it now,
Right, from where it
anyone's
comes
picked."
from.
And I said, "Except the people that are putting those stickers on, they're furloughed.
Yeah.
So who's checking our chicken supply that's going to Popeyes? I mean, they're already getting the
Oh.
bottom of the chicken barrel, anyways. You know."
That's true.
You know why I can't go to
Have an
places
avian
like
flu
that?
epidemic.
When I was in my 40s,
I guess
I
they're
ran
half
away
white.
from home.
Mm-hmm.
And
White,
Yeah,
white,
40.
white, white,
I was
white,
45
white,
or
white,
46
black,
when I ran
white,
away
black,
from home.
white,
Were you
white,
like
black, white,
married?
white, black. I mean,
Ran
that's
away from
mostly
home?
white.
Or
I
were
was
you-
Love a Pete.
divorced,
Yeah, that's true.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was upset
Not that they're not
because
good.
I
No,
wrecked
they
my
won.
car, so I just took my son's car because he had a motorcycle. I said, "By the way, I'm running away from home and I'm taking your car."
There you go.
So I took my dog with me,
Mm-hmm.
and I lived in the Detroit area, and I was running away out here to visit my brother.
Can they make a bigger
You wanted away
picture?
from home.
And I stopped at, yeah.
No, that's
In
all
Detroit,
white.
though?
That's from like the
I love
50s.
Oh.
My dad's from Detroit.
Detroit is a great, well, it was a great city until the casinos. But anyway, I stopped at a KFC, and
Is that the door?
That sounds like her.
Oh, okay.
I pulled a piece apart for the dog, because I basically stopped for her because she hadn't eaten in a while. And she went. She
Well, what's
wouldn't
funny is that-
touch it.
Wouldn't eat KFC.
She would not touch it. And that
What a
was the
snooty
end of me
ass dog you
ever
got.
ordering.
Like you.
I won't eat it either.
The finest kibbles and bits.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was a good test.
Well, back to the Clemson being a white football team. I can't remember who the comedian was saying. Who was the first black man to boo Jackie Robinson? Because I mean, because eventually, the sports become more black, and they're gonna get booed like everybody else.
Yeah.
But who was the first one? It was every white guy booed him. I mean, not every white guy, but there's a lot of racial tension there. But he must have struck out sometime, and the black guy, come on, bro, boo,
True pioneer. Let's give it up for that guy.
yeah, really.
I know he has some surviving lineage somewhere. Let's find that.
He does. I don't think he ever got booed by a black person. There's just no way back in there.
Nah, that was like one hating ass motherfucker like in the hood, just like Jackie ain't shit. Like
I used to strike that motherfucker out.
I bet you won't do that in the neighborhood.
Yeah. It was all politics that got him in there.
he just wasn't public about it because he would have got his ass whooped.
It's just like they talk about comedians like Dave Chappelle. It's like, oh, well, he doesn't cater to the black crowd. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter.
Well, I've had problems with a bunch of things in my life, and I'll start with musicians and female musicians to start with. I'll go with musicians first, but almost every female musician sings love songs and songs about being a woman and something like that along the way. I mean, they'll have other songs, but for the most part, you have your other women that break out, like Joan Jett. She'll be a rock person that's not about just being a woman. But comedians are the same way. Now, women comedians will almost never not say an anti-man joke. There's always an anti-man joke in their set.
And a vagina joke.
Same thing, in my opinion. It's a woman thing. It's a
Yeah.
woman thing. And that's often true with black folks when they're comedians,
Yeah.
but not always. And Dave Chappelle is one of those guys. I mean, he's going to be funny as shit. Eddie Murphy's another guy. So he's going to say his black jokes along the way, but he's funny on his own shit along the way. Does that make sense? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'd say with me being white, I'll say some white jokes just because I'm, making
Well,
fun of
isn't
old white
comedy,
guys.
really, you start off by making fun of yourself.
Well,
Right,
your
you
goal
can, that's the
is
way.
your goal is to eventually stop talking about your dick and sex and
Or make it good enough so that you
Yeah,
can go
well
far
written.
Right.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like talking about like your skin color and your set or whatever as difference between having a niche set to where like you can only appeal to a certain audience because of your skin color. Like there was a lot of that like really like in the 90s and stuff. Like a lot of black comedians could only do like Comic View or fucking Def Comedy Jam because all their sets was fuck white people do this, black people do that, and like just like a lot of freaking. Just nothing but black stuff, you know what I'm saying?
And the
I
way,
have sex with my hand on my back like,
yeah.
like, hey, what y'all know? Yeah. Yeah, I might do that.
but I worked that in your set.
Yeah, I could do that.
But there's a lot of comics that I really admire that don't talk about themselves at all. George
true.
Carlin is one of them. He's never talked.
He's
I
got
can't
to
think
be
of any
my
jokes that he
all-time
says.
favorite, I think.
Stephen Wright's another one. He talks about the largest map in the world. You may have seen it. Or scale says 1 mile equals 1 mile. It's a real bitch to fold. So he says all these jokes. He doesn't say anything about himself. I mean, there's a lot of comics that don't say anything about gender themselves. It's more, well, maybe gender part of it, but it's
I'm
not
trying
always
to think,
self-defeating or self-deprecating.
I like
If
Ron White.
Jim Jeffries.
Yeah, he's another one that doesn't.
Jim Jeffries. Yeah, he does talk about himself.
He talks about himself a lot.
Jim Jeffries?
Yeah.
I really, really do love his bit about having a gun in the house.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What's the combination? What's your mother's birthday? That's a funny bit.
I was watching old Mitch Hedberg videos.
He's pretty fucking funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
I was
I'm not
like,
familiar with him.
if you like one-liners, oh my gosh.
Who is this again?
Mitch Hedberg. He died in 2005.
He's from Seattle, isn't he?
Minnesota.
Minnesota, yeah.
He just
You
looks
might
like
hit me up
fucking
on that.
He
orange
did.
ass dude.
Exactly, lighter
Yeah,
on
low
that.
key with the sunglasses. Yeah.
He's the master. No one's been able to top his delivery, one-liner type creative shit. You know.
Huh.
Yeah, but he's also had specials where they didn't go over in the beginning, but he's been able to win the crowd over because his style of comedy is so like, I say obtuse.
Hold something up real quick, John.
What's that?
Put in Mitch Hedberg.
Oh, okay.
What was his murder and drug? Heroin?
Yeah, it was heroin, and he died when he was 27. So I was at a show with Brock. I was at a show with Brock in Gig Harbor, and one of the comedians there, she was like 23, and she asked me how old I was. I was like, oh, I'm 27. She was like, oh, you're in your Mitch Hedberg year. I was like, oh, what are you talking about?
I think 27 is the club, isn't it?
Yeah, 27 club.
Yeah.
Haven't a lot of singers died at 27?
Yeah, that's why I call it 27 club, like for him.
Yeah.
But you gotta be famous.
Yeah.
I'm not like famous.
Yeah. Don't get
So
famous
I
until you're
missed the
28.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey, baby.
There's also a genetic predisposition that involves the age 27. Like a lot of people will die at the age of 27 because genetically there's just something that's made that only lasts that long.
No, I don't know about that.
It's been theorized.
I'll look it up.
It's been theorized. Okay.
All right, let's see what he's saying.
Well, you know, gravity is still a theory, too.
Yeah, that's true.
No? Alright. I know that 4 million people watch that show and I don't know where they are. I cannot locate them. But I believe that, that's my dream introduction right there, You might see this next comedian on the David Letterman show. But I believe more people have seen me at the store.
That's All right, I want to go back to the MLK stuff. Get that over with.
Oh, I was trying to dodge it.
No,
The who?
I'm putting you on the spot now. All right, so Port Orchard just started celebrating as a city. They finally officially recognized Martin Luther King Day like 10 years ago. And I think it was officially made a holiday by Ronald Reagan in the early 80s.
Mm.
And so it hasn't been that long that it's been a national holiday. But
And every state hasn't accepted it yet, have
right,
they?
no, that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
Port Orchard was like just less than 10 years ago. So they had the city hall open, they had everything business as usual, and finally there was enough pressure that people said,
Go ahead. I got it.
enough people said, yeah, this is bullshit. We should celebrate this day. So I grew up in South Texas. I never celebrated MLK Day. I never even thought about it, to be honest with you. I don't remember any assemblies in school for it, nothing. Even in college, we got the day off. That was the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And now, on the other side of the desk, every year we have at least an assembly, which is the horrible, I think it's more racist than it is celebrating, actually. They put on YouTube videos of, I have a dream, It's like, but in years past, I say, and this was just this year, but in years past, we've had some people from the Baptist church that come in and tell some stories and sing, and I think that's much more respectful, to be honest with you, than popping a fucking YouTube video on and watching all these white people dance around. I mean, there wasn't one black adult in the building, in the assembly. There's quite a few black kids in the audience, but I don't know. So my question is to you: did you guys celebrate Martin Luther King Day as a family, or as your community, or with your schools? Do you remember any of that?
I remember.
Yeah.
You're younger than I am by many years, but
Definitely like at school. Never really like it at fucking home. Fuck, my parents worked. You know what I'm saying?
We did in Detroit.
well, I'm waiting for them to answer. Then I got a question for you.
Oh, okay.
I never when I got Martin Luther King Day cake or no shit like that. But
You said okay.
yeah, but
Go down to Safeway real
we
quick.
definitely had like assemblies and shit and celebrated at school as far as I can remember.
But were your families go to church
No.
Yeah, my family was church.
Well,
So
they
did
did
you
go
have-
to church, but they didn't go to church
for that day?
Yeah.
No, not for that day.
But your church has probably had for at least that Sunday. No, they didn't have anything about it. Okay, so it is relatively a new thing that's become part of the black community in general. I would think that.
I think the community as a whole, because the black community, like, I slept on MLK Day because I got the day off.
Yeah, right.
So
It's not a day off; it's a day on.
I.
And we're doing it now. This is our day on. So my question to you is, do you remember when he was shot? Do Do you remember the day he was shot?
I don't remember which day it was, but I think it was in '68.
But you remember when it happened.
Yeah, in Tennessee.
Do you remember the date? Well, let's put it this way.
You said
I want to
I
say
can
it
ask you-
happened in the spring.
I can ask you
and I
where
can't
and
remember
when.
when Robert Kennedy was
I was going
shot.
to say John F. Kennedy. When do you
John
remember
F.
when JFK?
Kennedy.
That was the shot heard around the world.
I know I was working for attorneys at the time, and that's about the. You know,
You don't
at my
remember.
age, I'm old and I drink.
No,
I forget.
I know.
I asked Captain Jack if he remembered when MLK was assassinated. An older guy, he's in his 80s, former military. He said, yeah, he remembered it. And then I said, is it a stretch for me to look back and observe and think that maybe the government might have had something to do with that assassination?
Oh, we already know they did.
Yeah,
His
but,
children had
No.
had jail meetings with whatever his name was, and they were convinced that he didn't do it. Martin Luther King's
Earl
children.
Ray, James Earl Ray.
Oh.
Well, I looked into it, and first of all, they didn't have YouTube and shit like that. But Robert Kennedy Jr. was running for president at the time.
And wasn't it '68 that both of them were killed?
I don't think it was
Yes.
the same year, was it?
I think
Yes.
so. Yeah, because
Yeah.
what happened was when MLK was shot, nobody knew it, and so Robert F. Kennedy was in front of the whole audience, and everybody's like, you know, it was a convention thing, and he's full audience, and everybody's cheering for him. He's like, hey, please put down the signs. I've got an important announcement I want to make, and everybody's quiet, and they show him, and he's almost in tears, but he's very presidential. I mean, he was very just, and he says, I have terrible news to announce that Martin Luther King was shot and killed today. And you could just see the people around him just going down. I mean, it was just horrible. That's how they heard it. It wasn't like it was on, and other people heard it on the news, or, you know, on the radio and stuff, but it was weird to see that was how it was announced. And then I think 3 months after that announcement, he was shot by a lone gunman too, Saran. Is that his
Yeah,
name?
in a kitchen of a restaurant. I
Yeah,
think.
and they said that was a Molka thing, mind control.
Yeah, and MLK was killed on the balcony of a motel, I think.
So yeah, so James Earl Ray, the connection with the government obviously was Hoover was, you know, investigating MLK. You know, they wiretapping him and trying to smear him. They even said, you better kill yourself, you know, make it look like a suicide or you're going to go down anyways, you know, and
Yeah.
all sorts of bad shit. But then James Earl Ray just casually left the scene, evidently, and then flew to a different country, was caught a year later, and was brought back to the States where he faced trial.
Wow, I
and
don't
was
remember
convicted.
that.
I know, it's crazy that he was gone for a year and he was the lone gunman suspect.
I don't remember that.
Weird how we don't know a lot of the history, and that's the same thing I'm talking about in the schools. They say, you know, peaceful protester Martin Luther King was all about peace and advocacy. He was arrested 29 times. You know, you think about, these guys hated him. How peaceful would you think his arrests were? Get in the car, watch your head.
Yeah.
I think his protests were peaceful from his standpoint.
Absolutely, but
like he can't control everybody.
no, of course not. Yeah, and he
But I
definitely
think
had
the
message of
government
peace.
started to realize that this was a serious issue and that there was going to be a huge revolution from the races to stop this. And then I think that his assassination kind of just like put it all to an end, which is really unfortunate because it seems like every time someone comes up to try to do something good, we just kill them.
But the flip side of it is, that's what I'm saying, is that just like we're saying today, the peaceful protest, peaceful. It's a government way of saying, hey, don't get violent with us. Follow Martin Luther King's path.
Yeah,
Don't be rioting. Do it peacefully. And it's a way to make us passive, in my opinion.
I'm not really a conspiracy person, but all of these marches, and then people come in and start looting and damaging buildings. I swear, I think they're setups.
Yeah, they're antagonists is what they're called.
Yeah.
And that's not a conspiracy theory. That's an actual theory.
I think it's been
I
going.
mean, it's a conspiracy theory, but it's real.
It's been going on for a while, but we're just now starting to fucking figure it out.
Yeah,
I think.
because the people that gather to march, they just don't do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's just like what was it, Frederickson from
Provocateurs.
the riots in
That's a good word, not used enough.
some place that started with F. It was like 3-4 years ago.
I'm taking Charlottesville, but
No, not Charlottesville. It was before that. It was for the killing of the unarmed black guy.
Oh, Frederickson?
Yeah.
Was it Frederickson?
Yeah.
Because
like St. Louis, like Missouri.
It
Or,
was Missouri or something.
yeah. Fairbanks.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ferguson.
Ferguson. Yeah, I
That's
knew it
what
was
it
a
is.
Frederickson. I was
Yeah.
like, no,
Yeah.
that's not it. That's not it. Ferguson. They said like the Ebola virus came around at the same time as Ferguson protests was going on. It was to like
Oh,
convince people to not be together.
Yeah.
To like go back at home. And I was like, oh, that's a pretty good one. Some of these conspiracy theories I can subscribe to on YouTube. Other ones, not so
Did you
much.
hear that joke about Ebola?
That's interesting.
Eat booty or licking ass? That one?
Never mind. You Never mind. You probably wouldn't get it.
Yeah, it's funny too that you brought that up about Ferguson and the Ebola virus. So I think I was watching like Last Week Tonight and John Oliver show,
Yeah.
and he was comparing like the American hysteria over Ebola to like the British hysteria over Ebola. And like he was just like with a bunch of different American news channels, and like everybody's like, Ebola is here, freaking out, and and like panicking when there was really that one dude from fucking Dallas that you never heard about again.
Right. Yeah.
And then you go to the European channels and they're like, there was an Ebola case. And
And that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about. Ta-ta.
Well, there's definitely an effort to divide, and that's part of the whole Mueller investigation. That's the whole tactic of the Russia collusion, was that trying to get people polarized against an issue, and it doesn't matter. So scare tactics are a big thing. So when they bring up avian flu or Ebola, or they're coming across the wall, it's just a way to get people to argue with each other, in particular through Facebook and Twitter, so that people just have these one-liners
Yeah.
instead of looking at things and researching and actually making good conversation.
And
It's just scaring and dividing.
45 never talks about the wall without saying there's a crisis at
Yeah.
the border.
Yeah, he definitely
Really?
he's staging himself. In fact, when he started his speech last week, one of the first things he said was Vietnam. He brought up Vietnam.
Oh, I
And
didn't even hear that.
Yeah, it was one of the first things, and I said, "Oh shit, here comes the national emergency." He's going to say, I mean, it was a total. I thought it was a setup for it, and so every time he's saying this national crisis, national emergency, and more, and they bring up this person was killed, and this person was killed, and they show pictures of dead people from illegal immigrants. It's like, they're just creating a scare that's not
Absolutely,
there.
Yeah, well, America has become like a reality TV show since, I don't know, the media was invented, because you don't know any French states, you don't know any like Australian states, but people around the world know where California is, they know what New York City is.
For sure.
They don't really know about Washington, D.C. or the American government as a whole, but they know about the states and what goes on here.
Yeah, I think you're right. International news is much better for international news than we are. I mean, for example, you bring up French states. The Yellow Vests have been rioting there for
Yeah.
a month now, and it's
Yeah.
crazy. Nobody knows what the issues are unless you really dive into it and find out. It's not going to be on the nightly news or the morning news or shit like that.
Macron wanted another tax.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a tax on the middle class and
And I think it was gas.
gas tax on the
Tax.
suburbs for people that have to commute
Yeah.
into town. They're like, what the hell? And so.
Yeah, what a great disappointment he turns out to be. He's just another, I swear,
Okay.
all these people at the top live in ivory towers. They are clueless what life is down here on the streets.
Yeah,
They don't know.
yeah.
It's kind of like Demolition Man. You got people in ivory towers, and then you got everybody else that lives in the sewers.
I mean, they even say things like, how interesting how to scan groceries. They're like, wow, that's so revolutionary. It's like, or Hillary Clinton didn't know how to start a car or something like that. She's
Hilarious.
Unless it had a push button or something. She didn't. I mean, she hasn't driven a car in 30 years. You know?
Hasn't she been around
Yeah.
since like the Model T or something?
Her first car. She's older, so.
My neighbor wanted me to drive. Yeah, he'd been drinking and he needed cigarettes, and I don't have a car, so he says, "Get over here and drive me to the cigarette store." I said, "David, I don't know how to drive these strange hybrid cars." So he says, "Get in," and you know what it's all about? You put the key in, you turn the key, and then you press on the accelerator. It was real tricky.
I don't like quiet cars. They scare me.
Oh, as
Yeah,
a
when you
pedestrian,
walk-
they
Yeah.
scare the hell out
You
of
know
me.
the
Oh yeah.
the what's the Tesla? they have an option on the car that you can have it different engine noises.
No shit.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so when you're driving, it's zzz, zzz. You can have like you can make it like a roadster or something.
Is there like
What else
a
does Tesla have something else really weird on their cars?
Well, Tesla just announced that they're laying off a bunch of people, and they're because of the competitive. So their stock went down like 17% or some shit.
Well, Musk hasn't been behaving.
Yeah, he smoked a
CEO.
blunt.
Yeah, he smoked the blunt. He's like, this town needs tunnels. They start doing all that stuff. I like him, man. I think he's cool.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you're gonna be a multi-billionaire, you might as well fucking fly a car in the air. Let's put a car in space.
I was sitting there thinking about when you're talking about the engine noise things, what I would have my fucking engine sound like. I think I would like want to be programmed to sound like Gilbert Godfrey saying vroom.
Yeah, I think it's his stockholders that are having a fit about him. Because the rest of them,
That's a good one. Did you write that down?
I think
you
that-
should write it right now. Take out a notepad.
what was it?
Because when you say it, I'm gonna just be in the back line, rolling.
Local news. I just looked
just
and
when I
saw
was
that
saying-
something that was a big scare, that
I didn't hear
the tornadoes in Port Orchard.
Oh, local. Stop it.
No, seriously. What do you think I say?
That's like been my joke for like the last month.
Oh no, I wasn't even gonna go there. I wasn't even thinking about
Okay.
that. I was thinking more that the insurance companies over there, they're not covering it because they didn't have tornado insurance. You know, you got flood insurance,
Yeah.
you got all sorts of different, but not tornadoes. So they're
Yeah, you
scrambling
don't
out.
have flood insurance even around here. Flood insurance is done through the government, I think.
Well, I think you could get it as an add-on. I mean, I could
Right,
get an
yeah.
add-on right now on tornado insurance, but why the fuck can I do that? Then,
Well, see, that I've never heard of tornadoes being excluded. I know floods do.
well, that's what the story is, and that's the story that came out from day one. Is everybody's wondering how they're going to get their insurance for these houses that are destroyed. It's horrible. And I think about it for myself. I've had insurance through my work for 22 years, and I've never hardly ever used it. You know, a couple doctor appointments here and there, or whatever. I broke my shoulder, 3 months ago, and I was $800 for it. You know, I had an MRI, an X-ray, 2 doctor visits, and a
You've
PT.
had an MRI under $800?
Well, the insurance covered
Oh,
a lot
okay.
of it, but I
Oh.
still had to pay out of pocket like $800, and it's like, yeah,
Wow.
I know, isn't that crazy? So the tens of thousands, probably more, tens of thousands of dollars at least I've paid in insurance, and they can't foot
Yeah.
$800. You know, it's crap. I don't,
Yeah, I'm playing Russian roulette with my health because
You got the Apple?
I was a stay-at-home mom, and so
Oh, you got
I
Medicare, right?
don't get much Social Security.
Right.
And when I got my Social Security, I had to take it early because I was blowing through my savings. They wanted $100 a month for health for Part B. Part A, everybody gets. Part B, you have to pay for. $100 a month. That's $1,200 a year.
Yeah.
And I hadn't been to a doctor. I think in the last 20 years, I've been to a doctor about 4 times.
Well, that's pretty amazing.
I had this awesome doctor in Seattle. I saw him 1 year, and then I saw him about 2 years later. And then I saw him about 3 years later when I came in. He says, "Wow, you're getting to be a hypochondriac." Yeah, he was really cool because he's the one who told me I have emphysema. And you know what he says? Eat well, exercise, and stay away from oxygen tanks. And you know what? I'm taking his advice.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, as long as I've known you, you walk all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
if you had a Fitbit, I wouldn't want to see it. I mean, you'd have like 100,000 steps every day. I'm happy to get 10,000.
Yeah, that's why I'm lucky because, like, back when I had a car, I measured all this stuff out. The tap room, the Silver City tap room, 1.4 miles from my house. Brother Don's, 1.3 miles from my house. And the problem is with Winco is 1.5 miles. And I'll go there, and I used to, instead of getting a basket, I would push a basket, and then I'd be going home with my backpack loaded, a bag in each hand, and on the way I'd go, it's just 1.5 miles. Then I'm going home going, oh fuck, it's 1.5 miles home too. Yeah.
Getting there is easy. Getting back,
It
Yeah,
is
that's
a
for
bitch.
sure.
yeah.
The hills around here.
And that's a lot of things too.
So speaking of people getting took out, I wanted to play this. This is Bill Hicks. It's called Just a Ride. Some of you might have heard it already. But
There is a point. Is there a point to all this? Let's find a point.
Oh, that's your guy, right?
yeah, I like this.
Is there a point to my act? I would say there is. I have to. The world is like a ride at an amusement park, and when you choose to go on it, you think it's real, because that's how powerful our minds are. And the ride goes up and down and round and round. It has thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored, and it's very loud, and it's fun for a while. Some people have been on the ride for a long time, and they begin to question, is this real, or is this just a ride? And other people have remembered, and they come back to us, and they say, hey, don't worry, don't be afraid, ever, because this is just a ride. And we kill those people. Shut him up. We have a lot invested in this ride. Shut him up. Look at my furrows of worry. Look at my big bank account and my family. This has to be real. It's just a ride. But we always kill those good guys who try and tell us that. You ever notice that? And let the demons run amok? But it doesn't matter because it's just a ride. And we can change it anytime we want. It's all in a choice. No effort, no work, no job, no savings of money. A choice right now between fear and love. The eyes of fear, once you put bigger locks on your door, buy guns, close yourself off. The eyes of love, instead, see all of us as one. Here's what we can do to change the world right now, to a better ride. Take all that money we spend on weapons and defense each year and instead spend it feeding, clothing, and educating the poor of the world, which it would many times over, not one human being excluded, and we can explore space together, both inner and outer, forever.
Well, that's one of the theories that they have for the pyramids in Egypt. That they acquired so much wealth they didn't have to worry about their health. You know, everything was covered pretty much. And even the slaves that made it, there was more of a caste system, they say. You know, I mean, they had to be in it, but at the same time, there was communities of people that were fed, and that's why they developed so much art and culture. And that the pyramids were just basically an art project to keep them busy, because it was better than going to war with anybody. You can just defend yourself, and you know.
We have all this time in the world back then. You know, what are you gonna do? You're gonna
Yeah.
fucking try to do cool shit. Oh, fucking, they did this over there. Well, we'll do this. You know?
So-
Yeah, the Romans did it too.
Yeah, yeah.
The Pantheon and everything.
Some of the art back then is just absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're at this point in which, you know, we're losing jobs in this country, not because of immigrants coming in and taking them, it's because of automation from robots, you know, and pretty soon robots are going to be making robots that make shit. And so what's our point with jobs? Why we even have to work? And there's- what's that?
I think we will be here to create. Robots are here to take care of all like the menial tasks, like the washing of the dishes, the folding of the clothes, the this, the that, and humans. We create. We're artists. We all have right and left brains. Some of us are more like rigid thinkers, but thinkers nonetheless.
You know what would be sick is if businesses had to pay their robots minimum wage, and all that money went towards a universal income.
Yes.
Oh, there's a
That'd be
thought.
sick.
I like that.
What the hell is that?
There's a roach.
No, something on
Oh,
the counter.
Oh, it's a plastic baggie, a gun, and crackers and cheese.
But yeah, that was in the early 90s. Bill Hicks said that, you know, he died of pancreatic cancer at a young age, but it's like some of the shit that he talks about just has aged so well and so still rings so true, but it just goes to show how we have not really changed as a nation at all.
You know who scares me is science fiction writers.
Oh, because some of it looks like it might be true.
Even going all the way back to like Jules Verne, everything he wrote about, we have.
Yeah, I think the first
It's scary.
the first kind of artist that I can remember that were projecting this stuff in the mass media was the Twilight Zone, and how much they turned science and weird situations into a portrayal of society in general.
Yeah. Oh, you know, and you can never forget Michelangelo. He actually drew the first helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, yeah, I don't even want to read science fiction. I don't want to know about it. I don't want to know what's coming.
art imitates life. Sometimes
Yeah.
life imitates art.
The guy that created the flip phone said he was inspired by Star Trek. He said that was exactly what he was looking after.
Wow.
I'm still waiting to get beamed up.
Oh, I like that idea too. Or being somewhere, that'd be cool.
It's like 2020's next year, and I still don't have a hover car. Yeah, what's going on here?
But you know, I've been to China a couple times, and it's really weird to think that, you know, I get on this plane, this little big Tic Tac that flies through the sky, and you know, I eat something, I try to drink a few drinks, watch a movie, read a book, take a nap, wake up, do it again. You know, wake up and I'm halfway across the world, just like that. I mean, that's so different from any generation before. I mean, you couldn't do that at 30 years old.
We took a slow boat to the
Yeah.
Americas.
You actually did come over. Yeah.
I really am literally off the boat.
Yeah.
Oh, where are you from?
Yeah.
Came at Ellis Island?
Germany.
Oh,
Through
okay.
Ellis Island?
No.
Because my
We
parents did.
We did go through New York, but it was not on Ellis Island.
What year did they come in?
We came in December of 52,
Okay.
I think. Or was it 51?
From Germany?
Yeah, December of 51.
So your family lived in Nazi Germany?
My dad was conscripted into the German army.
Wow.
His brother was in the American army.
She said
That's
your
how we came
father
over
was
is-
conscripted into the German army. She's like, he was a Nazi.
Mm.
Let's say it the right way.
No.
He was drafted to be a Nazi. That's the way it is.
No.
This is like how
There's a
rich
big difference between the German army and the Nazis. Huge.
Okay.
And I don't know how many of you know where the Nazi Party was founded.
Where was it at?
Austria.
Mm.
Do you know where Hitler was born?
Austria, right?
Austria.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
became a German citizen when he was 24.
But who strengthened the brown shirts? It was a
You know
false
what the
flag
problem
conspiracy.
was? You remember the Versailles Treaty.
Yeah.
Well, it left Germans poor
Yeah.
and hungry. And you know what? Poor, hungry people don't necessarily think correctly.
That's true.
Look at all the people who voted for Trump. And I've heard Hitler's speeches, how anybody could have followed him.
Oh,
They're just like the way Trump talks.
Yeah.
Hitler was an idiot.
I
He was a total, complete
well,
idiot.
no,
But he
hold
had
on
a
minute.
fiery way
Yeah,
of
see,
speaking.
this is the same thing.
La,
that
la, la,
people
rah,
would
rah,
say
rah.
George W. Bush was an idiot. And I think it was a ploy. I mean,
Oh,
he's a Harvard
absolutely-
graduate, and he was going to talk like the commoners so that he could get
Yep.
them on their side.
I
And that's
totally
brilliant.
agree with you.
You know, that's
Totally
a,
agree
that's
with
a,
you.
That's a plan. And I think Trump is an idiot, but he's also catering to the idiots in a lot of ways. And I hate to say it like that because I don't think it's necessarily an idiot plan. It's like he's following the recipe of how to do it, divide and conquer. And he's
Yeah.
done it.
Yeah.
He
Yep.
platformed on it and got it. So is that dumb? Or
Oh,
just
no, they're
evil?
very clever in what they're doing.
Yeah.
Very clever.
Did you hear the theory that Trump is a time traveler?
I know I have.
No.
I've heard he's a reptilian.
Yeah.
But
The time traveler one? It has some good evidence to back it up.
Oh,
There's
yeah?
a book and everything.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's quite interesting. I went on like a whole, I don't know, with Twitter.
Rabbit hole.
Yeah, I went down the rabbit hole pretty hard.
Oh, God.
All it takes is one post and I'm hooked.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, because his son's name
Joe,
is
you
like,
abandoning the podcast this morning?
I'm good. Yeah.
his son's name is like Barron Trump.
All right, let's
Yeah.
finish it off by talking about
Baron.
the fights last night.
All right.
I don't really give a shit what happens. You know, I don't have any favorites. I don't even follow it at all. But that guy getting kneed in the head,
Yeah.
that was something trippy.
And Hardy came out and
I
said
was
that it was an
wrestling.
accident.
That shit wasn't no accident. That motherfucker loaded up for that shit.
Yeah, he did.
That's what you gotta say. That's like when Dominic Sue fucking stepped on that dude's head and was like, "Oh, I was trying to regain my foot."
But
Nah, you stepped on that dude's
So
head.
last time we all had it coming. We're like, here comes the illegal
Yeah,
knee.
we're-
Boom, we legal knee right to the temple. And we're like, fuck.
well, what it looked like to me, he was losing the fight, and so he went street fight.
Street fight.
Yeah, he just switched over.
But that's
to-
why he's in the UFC,
Survive.
because he's a fucking just a
Vicious
scrappy
fucker.
piece
Yeah.
of shit. Like he should be
Yeah.
on the street fight YouTube channels and shit.
Yeah,
I remember
fucking bare
those.
knuckle boxing. That's getting some traction there.
Yeah.
Really?
yeah,
Yeah, and I-
Backyard boxing.
No, there's actually freaking a league called BKB. And
Oh, shit.
yeah, they fucking sanction it. They fucking get in the ring. They
Oh, no doubt.
bare knuckles, look it up.
All fisticuffs.
But
Wow.
you know, so, and then there was the main card where Dillashaw got finished in 34 seconds. and we were talking about whether or not it was a good stoppage, and Dana White said it was a horrible stoppage.
At first, I thought it was a good stoppage, and then I looked at it again. It's like, I've seen these. You know me. I see these guys getting hit like 6 times. I'm like, oh, it's over, it's over. And then he's like, hey, no, I'm just wearing you down with my chin, buddy.
And here I was busy at home wrestling with a box of wine.
I feel like Cejudo probably would have still finished him, but I just feel like where they stopped it at, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was turning around, transitioning, like, let's let that transition play out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it looked questionable, because we're sitting there talking about it right now, you know? Like, and TJ fucking went on a whole rant, and he has a case for it, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm still gonna stick to my guns and say that if he would not have cut that much weight to get down to that weight class, I might have let it go a little longer. But if you're gonna cut that much weight and you're gonna get clipped in the back of the head and you're gonna go down like that, I'm gonna try to save you because you're gonna get your brain is not in a position to take punishment like that. There's something to say about cutting that much weight because you don't have the proper fluid going on in your shit.
I agree with that, but at the same time, you know, we're here to watch a fight,
Yeah.
and I've seen a lot more damage
And
than that.
if I'm a ref, I'm here to make sure that fighter sees another day.
All right, let's see who we got for football today.
Oh, there's another fight though.
Oh,
Adrian Broner. versus
Yeah,
Manny
he got
Pacquiao.
beat.
oh yeah,
you got
the
beat down.
boxing, yeah.
Yeah, Manny Pacquiao's back.
Oh, what was he talking at the end?
I won that shit.
Yeah.
Nah, motherfucker, you don't give me no fair shake. He actually tried to pull a Floyd Mayweather on Larry Merchant.
What he do?
With his post fucking fight press conference or whatever. I don't know the fuck did the interview. I think it was Howard Cosell or some shit.
I know who you're talking about. It was not Howard Cosell.
Oh, that was good.
They fucking,
He's like the easiest imitation ever.
when Mayweather knocked out Ortiz and he's talking to Larry Merchant and he's like, you don't give me a fair shake. And when he got his ass beat by Pacquiao, Adrian Broner pretty much did the same thing, and the dude walked in. He's like, "Nah, motherfucker, you don't give me no fair shake." And he started talking like, "I won that shit," and da 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 da. And like,
In true Adrian Broner fashion.
yeah, you
Yeah,
got
it's
your ass
horrible.
beat.
He did not look like somebody that was trying to take a belt from somebody. And the thing is that as soon as the fight was over, he raised his hands. We were like, "Is he kidding?"
He didn't even hit anybody. He didn't even hit one punch.
You
I don't
say he
think.
didn't hit anybody.
You could at least hit the ref. Got a couple of points for that one.
He
You know?
didn't hit anybody in his corner at all.
Pacquiao landed more significant body shots than Browner
Yeah,
did
for sure.
overall shots.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I saw one good punch that he did, and that was it.
He tried to go for a double leg takedown at one point.
Yeah, yeah.
Stop it.
So, so today football, we have 2 big games. We find out who goes to the Super Bowl. We got the Rams
is that
versus
today?
the Saints. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's-
Rams versus
Noon.
Saints at 1 and
Oh,
Patriots versus Chiefs.
I thought it was noon and 3.
Rams and Chiefs.
Noon,
Let's
yeah,
go.
noon.
Noon
It
and
is
3,
noon.
yeah.
Yeah, noon and 3:40.
Yeah.
So I got the Rams. And I got the Patriots. Rams and Patriots.
I'm with you on the Chiefs, but I'm not Saints fan.
Rams and Chiefs. That's
Saints-
right. I'm from
Saints and
LA.
I'm from LA, so I'll go with the Rams.
You gotta go with the Rams. I wanted the Chargers to win. I just
Who's the other 2 teams?
Chiefs and Patriots.
Chiefs and Patriots. I'll go with the Chiefs.
And I don't want the Patriots to win. I just think they're gonna win.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's probably what happened. It's just like Golden State. Like,
I don't want them to win. They might win, but
who do you have?
The Lions.
I was just gonna say it. I'll just stick with the lie downs. That's what they call them in Detroit, is the lie downs.
The lie downs?
What do you
Although
got?
some people are starting to call them the kitties.
What do we have for comedy or music this week?
This
I don't know
Wednesday,
how
open mic at Cookies like usual, and then Friday we have Dog Days Family
What?
Feud,
Red Wings?
Yeah, but even they're not doing that well these days.
That's true.
That's it. I don't know what's going on music
I
wise.
am so thrilled.
But on Friday at Dog Days after the feud, we'll probably go to Hi-Fi like we normally do and check out whatever it is going on
Yeah.
down
Why are
there.
we in Auburn?
So
Somebody built them a stadium out there.
Going all the way back, Petra, throwback to tomorrow's Martin Luther King Day, so I'm going to celebrate. We're doing a pub crawl in Port Orchard.
As in, could I come along?
Yeah, I think we're going to start at Brother Don's, have a little light brunch, and then zip down to the Drift Inn, catch the foot ferry, and then tear it up downtown.
Oh, yeah.
And then,
also,
Oh, that sounds awesome.
I dropped my car off at the Toro Lounge and asked them if in the summer they wanted to do a comedy crawl from Toro to Dog Days.
nice.
So try to get the comedy crawl back again.
You talk to Carlos?
I just dropped my card off. Nobody was
Oh,
there,
oh.
so hoping to hear from him. But
Yeah.
Oh, if you're doing that, I'll stop asking about mine then. Because you know all the people down there.
I've been boycotted.
what do you mean?
Because I was going to start one that went from another castle.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, another castle to Shenanigans. It was going to do a whole pub crawl and then end with the open mic and Shenanigans. But you got more traction in the game out here. I was just trying to do something.
Well, I used to do a comedy crawl, but it was from Lovecraft to Dog Days, and we would go back and forth, and then Mobster Mike's. So we did 3 at one point in time with Mobster Mike's. But
Oh, you had 3 open mics on the same day?
no shows. We did
Okay.
a show. We had all the comedians start at one place, and then go to another place, and then go to another place.
It'd be kind of neat if you had like, let's say you started at Toro's and then you had Aaron McFadden playing music there,
Yeah.
and then the comedians start there with their crawl, and then when they leave, he leaves, and then you guys go to the next place, and I might be playing there, and
Yeah,
you show up there,
that'd
and
be
there's your
rad.
music going,
That'd be
and
rad.
then you do your shit there, and then Aaron, in the meantime, zips to the next place,
Yeah.
and then you go there, and then
Closes
I
it
zip
out.
to the next place. You know, we could
Well,
do, you know,
I see what you're saying. The comedians actually crawl.
yeah.
See,
And the people at the show.
That want to
Okay.
join it, yeah.
Yeah. So all the audience members also crawled down.
There
to
was
the
a good
other
crowd that
location.
did that between
Yes.
Lovecraft and
Yeah,
Dog
we were
Days.
getting like 50 plus.
That was a
Yeah,
good,
things
that was a
like
good
that
crowd.
really work. My brother has the Blue Moon in Seattle. For 10 years, we had a hiking club, and it was a 8-mile 4 tavern minimum. But then one day we actually walked 15 miles and passed up bars. So
Well, there's the
another
Hasher
meeting.
Club here too.
Yeah.
You know, that would be kind of good to do something with them.
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
that just draws them in already.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we'd gather as many as 15 people,
Talk to Taylor.
hiking
Especially on
from
a
one
Sunday,
bar to
yeah.
the next.
Yeah, for
now
sure.
that football's over.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
All right.
Let's
That's it.
wrap her up.
All right,
Hour and a
have
half
a nice
later.
week, guys.